convention yesterday and the day before. Glad to see you again. I was staying at the hotel where a number of people were staying, and I was in the lobby, and someone said, "Oh, there's the cat lady." So that's me, cat lady. That's me. Really a pleasure to be with you, to worship with you this morning in this beautiful place. I'm from northern Indiana, so it kind of blows my mind that I'm staring at the ocean right here. It's wonderful, wonderful. So I'm just going to give you a brief overview for a second before I hand out the report, because being a human being myself and knowing our tendencies, if I handed out the report right now, you'd be breezing through it. And what I'm going to do is go through it page by page so you understand what the data is saying. And if I'm doing my job well, by the end of our time together, you will know this report as well as I do, okay? So I'm going to do an overview. We'll go through the results, and while I have a lot of information to impart, I hope there'll be some back and forth conversation, and I want to take your questions in the moment, not wait until the end, okay? And I'm not going to do this part of next steps, but maybe your vestry leaders, in terms of what you want to do with this data. And then I'd like to do just a quickie evaluation. Nothing written, just oral, okay? All right, so just a couple of things I want you to understand. First of all, I congratulate you in using the CAT and taking it and risking more understanding of yourselves. Sometimes we don't want to know the whole truth. This tool is a very astute tool at understanding the truths about congregations. And I think this kind of exercise is like part of a spiritual journey of self-knowledge and learning more about self, so that we can situate ourselves where we are and help us understand how to move forward, what we might want, what we want to keep, what we might want to change. So thank you for this. Here's what the CAT measures. It measures the experiences, the perceptions, and the aspirations of the congregation. So, and quite a few of you, in terms of average Sunday attendance, completed this, and I also want to congratulate you on that. We measure the response rate against your average Sunday attendance, because that's really a truer picture of the size of the congregation. Sometimes church rolls still have names of people that really haven't been around for years. And so your response rate was 91% of average Sunday attendance. That's awesome. Now, for a congregation this size, in terms of this tool, if we have about a 40% participation rate, we're pretty sure that the data represents the congregation and is valid, representative, reliable. Well, at 91%, we're almost whole. So I can stand here today and say, I am very confident that what we're talking about here represents what's going on here, since so many of you participated. So thank you for whoever did the arm twisting to get you all to do this. It was a team effort. That's great. So you're going to learn about your combined experiences, perceptions, aspirations. And this was done in June. So let's think of this as a snapshot in time of what you all were experiencing, perceiving, hoping for in June 2018. I doubt it's changed much in the last few months, but it may be different if you had done this 3 years ago. And I am hoping that 3 years from now, if you do it again, it will be different because of what you've undertaken between now and then. Okay, so a snapshot. So here's how you're gonna, just a sense of how you might experience this time together. I want you to listen for understanding. Sometimes I walk into a vestry or a congregation who's done the CAT and everybody's tense. You know, it's like, oh, we're going to get our report card and it's going to be bad, and oh, this is just, it is what it is. And there's no right or wrong answer. Remember, this is just a picture of where things are right now. So listen without judgment if you can. Just listen for understanding what your fellow parishioners are experiencing. There are things, obviously, that you know about St. James the Fisherman because you are members here. And many of you probably been members for a long time. And I actually know that from the demographic data, if you'd like to know, and you will have this. But almost a quarter of you have been here over 20 years. It's pretty long standing. So there's a lot you know. There may be some things from this report that you didn't know. You just don't know, okay? Now I know, I'm going to share with you what I know. I've studied this report and I've gotten to know you. So there are things I know. There are some things I don't know. I looked at the data and, oh, I wonder what that means. So when I start sharing things I know that you know, it's going to be a confirmation. Oh, well, we could have told you that, Susan. I hope there's a lot of confirmation. When I share with you some things I know that you don't know, you might be surprised by some of the data you hear. That's normal. And I hope there's a little surprise, so there's new learning. Now, I might share a question with you saying, I'm not sure what this little piece of data means. It's something that you know, and you'll say, oh, Susan, we can tell you a story about that to help you understand from our perspective. There may be some things I'm asking about that you really don't know how to answer. I would just take note of those, especially the vestry. How do we explore understanding that a little better? And maybe you might have a congregational conversation, okay, to get underneath what folks are really saying. Okay, a couple of other things. This tool, unlike most, measures two aspects of congregational life that over the years of research of congregational life, if we know these two things, we immediately have a sense of the health and the vitality of the congregation. Those two factors are satisfaction and energy. So, and what I mean by satisfaction, it's not your kind of consumeristic sense of satisfaction, but this measures the congregation's sense of well-being, your sense of being at peace, being here, that there's a lack of discord. And so when you walk into this building or that, but when you're here, or when you're thinking about this congregation, you have that sense of well-being. That's satisfaction. The other thing this measures is energy, and by that I don't mean, how athletic you are. We mean your passionate sense of mission and purpose, and is it persuasive in the life of this congregation? And we're going to get to these right away, but I wanted you to know the definitions and how you are on these two factors tells a lot right away. So we'll get to that. All right. So I'm going to distribute the report, and we're going to go through it page by page. Feel free to put your name on it. It's yours. And Michelle has the electronic version, so you can do whatever you want with it, okay? And we're going to skip right ahead since we've already prayed well this morning. We're going to go right to page, oops, I'm sorry, Michelle. We're going to go right to page 4. And I think what you'll learn as we're doing this is, we could have just sent you the report and I didn't need to be here, but what you're going to learn is the report is such that to just read it on your own, bless you, to read it on your own won't make complete sense without some understanding of what's there. And my job is to tie the picture together. So there's going to be a lot of percentages, percentile ranks, bar charts. I'll walk you through those, okay? So let's go to page 4. It's called Key Indicators. And I just want a couple of things. On the upper right-hand corner of each page, you're going to see an owl. And you're going to wonder, and with a number next to it, why on a CAT report is there an owl? I think Michelle, did you receive a copy of the book Owl Sight?
Yes, we're reading it.
You're reading it, okay. The president of Holy Cow Consulting, Russ Crabtree, who created all of this, he's now the retired president, he wrote a book that really goes into depth about what's being measured here. And the name of the book is Owl Sight. And you got a copy. And for those of you who are really data geeks, if you want to learn more about